What is happening, you wonderful people? So I got a chance last night to go see the new film Wicked, and in this film we follow Alphaba and Galinda, played by Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, as they form an unlikely bond in friendship. But slowly, towards the end of the film, they start to merge on two different life paths, going their different ways after meeting the powerful Wizard of Oz. And that's all I can say without giving too much away in this film. Not really spoiler-filled film, but let's talk about it. So Wicked. Wicked, I never saw the musical play. I just never had any desire to watch it or, watch it online or go out and watch it, because it's funny, I didn't even know it was a play until I heard about this movie being made until about this year or maybe last year, something like that. So I was interested. I was like, you know what? This could be interesting. I am someone personally who has seen The Wizard of Oz, the original one from the 30s, a million times before. I've seen it a lot of times when I was younger, and I don't really like that film that much. I know there's probably a vast majority of people that love that film, and it is probably considered a classic, but I'm just someone who doesn't really enjoy that film that much. But hey, film's subjective. What can I say? Um, so I went into this film with high expectations. First trailer was absolutely amazing. Second trailer was absolutely amazing, and was very excited for this film. And before I saw this last night, it was my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year. Right now, mine is Moana 2, seeing that Monday. So I walked in and I absolutely loved this film. From the opening scene, the hook of the opening scene, and I won't say what it is, it's not like too spoilery, but it's kind of cool, and I don't want to give this away when I say this, but it starts in the present and the whole movie's in the past. And you'll see what I'm talking about when you watch the actual movie. But the way they hook you right when the movie opens, like it's something about it works, and I really enjoyed that moment. And let's talk about my positives first because I always talk about my positives and my negatives, but I want to talk about my positives first. So starting off the bat, the characters are absolutely likable. The characterization is incredible. I think that these characters were fleshed out for the most part, and I have my notes right here, so I'm kind of trying to go off them as well. That's what I'm going to start doing just to make it easier. I do think that Cynthia Erivo's character Alphaba, she is more fleshed out than Ariana Grande's character, Galinda, the Good Witch. But both of them are. And again, I'm trying not to look at my notes too much because I want to go off the top of my head as well because I have other things to say as well. But I do think that both of them were fully fleshed out, and you actually cared about these characters, and you understand their predicaments in the film, and you understand where they're coming from and their struggles along the way from when you first see them in the film until the end. And this movie is very much a part one, and part two will release in November, a year from now. And I guess you could say towards the end there is a cliffhanger. It's kind of, they kind of go the route of a cliffhanger, like with Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. That's a part one. Uh, Dead Reckoning Part Two will be the final reckoning. So the cliffhanger for that film kind of felt like this, and I didn't hate it. I actually really liked how they ended the film, and the everyone in this movie gave great performances. Arrivo was great. Grande was great. With the time that they have Michelle Yeoh, I'm honestly not a big Michelle Yeoh fan. I don't know, just something about her. I'm just not. She was great in this film. Jeff Goldblum, who doesn't love Jeff Goldblum, right? Jeff Goldblum, with the time he has in this film, he's not in it much. He's in it towards the end. Him as Oz, he's great. And it's not a spoiler if you didn't know he was in this film. He was in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. Don't get mad at me down below in the comment section. But who doesn't love Jeff Goldblum? He was great in this film with the time he had. And my mom was like, "Wait, did you know he was going to be in here?" And I was like, "Yes, they showed him in the trailer, man. They showed him in the trailer." So it's cool to see him. And him as Oz, I like what they were doing. I like where they were going with how they wrote his character. I thought that was interesting. And Michelle Yeoh's character, I can't remember her name, but she's like, I guess, the principal or president of Shiz University. I think it's called Shiz University. She was fine. I mean, I thought her character was interesting and a really well written character, but I just, she was fine. She was fine. But yeah, it's cool because they actually got real artists to sing in this film. And that's one of the things that makes this movie good. You actually enjoy the music, and I'm someone who actually really enjoyed Joker too. I know a lot of people aren't enjoying it, mainly because of the musical aspects. In that film, the musical aspects worked for me. Some of them just didn't really work that much, but you could tell the difference between those two films, and they're two completely different films. One's a superhero, supervillain film. This is like a musical Broadway film, and they actually got singers to sing in this film, and the music is beautiful. And I was waiting for one song, and the ending has that song to end the film, and I really enjoyed how they did that. I thought the way they did that in the film, it really worked, and the writing on the characters is great. It's funny because Cynthia Erivo's character, you relate to her more because she's kind of like this outcast character that nobody likes, and you feel bad for her, and you get mad at all these other characters in this film for making fun of her because she's different, and her character is different, but you get so attached to her character. Her character is so likable, and Ariana Grande's character is likable as well, but she's kind of a jerk in this film as well. I'm not gonna lie, and the way her character is written is she's kind of like this high octane, high energy, egotistical, goofy girl that wants to she's a girl that wants to be popular, and Cynthia Erivo wants people to like her. She wants to be popular, but she's kind of like the quiet one, like the real awkward. Well, not awkward. I don't know if awkward. I don't think awkward's the right way to say it, but she just wants people. She wants to fit in, and you have Ariana Grande over here, who's just like I said a minute ago, high octane, just very cocky, and you wouldn't think that would work, especially for Ariana Grande. But her character was likable, and that worked for me, in my opinion. And there's a lot of underlying themes and messages in this film. It's about fitting in, and it's about friendship and fitting in when you're different. You know what I mean? And just belonging and acceptance and just proving yourself and your worth and showing your potential and wanting to put yourself out there and really not caring what people think, but also caring what people think, because you want people to like you. You know what I mean? You do. And I feel like those aspects worked in this film. And it's another few things that made the film work as a whole, and it's directed beautifully, and it's visually and aesthetically pleasing. And my mom, I had a theater reaction last night. My mom made a good point. She was like, if the new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and I think Wizard of Oz had a baby, it would be this film. And when she said that, I was like, I could see that. I could definitely see. She says something else too. I can't remember what it was, but when she said that, I'll think about that later. When she said that, though, I was like, that's a really good way to put it. This is exactly what that film is. But again, it works. The film works, and the chemistry between Erivo and Ariana Grande, Galinda, and Alphaba's characters is amazing. And, you know, it slowly builds to their chemistry becoming unique and them actually becoming having that friendship, because toward at the beginning they don't really like each other that much, but you slowly see that build. You slowly see that love they have for each other as friends, and there are a few loose ends in the film, and I didn't really notice that. My mom called it out, and my mom said that, and I was like, I could see that. There probably are a few loose ends, but I didn't really mind, I didn't really mind. Um, and the story was great. I mean, I was confused a little bit, but you have this story about both of them finding each other, building their friendship, and finding Oz, and they slowly start to descend on their own paths. One good path, one kind of a bad path, and that's yeah. I mean, going into my negatives now, I don't really have many negatives. I do have to say this movie is 2 hours and 30 minutes, 2 hours and 40 minutes, something around that. So like 2.5 hours, 3 hours, something like that. And I do feel like the pacing for the most part was really good. Pacing I had no problems with. I do feel like it was slow at times. It maybe dragged a little bit, and I was bored a little bit, and maybe it is a little too long, but I thoroughly enjoyed Wicked, and if you are a fan of the Wicked play, and if you thought the trailers were good, if you're not a fan of it and you watch the trailers and you went into those trailers blind, and you're going to go into this movie blind, which is kind of what I did. Like I watched those trailers blind, and maybe I still went into this movie blind, not knowing much about it, and I walked out loving it. So yeah, y'all go check out Wicked. It is amazing. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed Wicked. This movie is number 8 for me right now, and I believe, or maybe number 6 or number 7. Not sure what place, but it's in my top 10. I guarantee it will stay in my top 10. I bet it will. And I really enjoyed this film. It is one of the best movies of the year. I was very excited for this film. I was anticipating it, and I walked in absolutely loving it. And I will watch it again. And y'all comment down below. Tell me what y'all think. Let's talk about it. If you're new to the channel, do not forget to subscribe down here, like, comment, share on this video. We are at 555 subs. We're almost to 600. That's the next big milestone to 700, 800, 900. And the big milestone right now is 1K and beyond that. And if you're new as well, I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, trailer reactions, movie live streams, movie news, all that wonderful movie stuff under a movie umbrella. Let's talk about Wicked down below. Tell me y'all's thoughts. Keep talking movies and wonderful people. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays. Stay safe. Cheers.